So I just finished my video of the E63 and I'm picking up my 9.5 Wagon. Let's take a look here. Looks like I might need some air in the tire there, so I'll stop for that on the way home. But anyway, I gotta take this home and get it prepped. There's a guy coming to pull some of the dents and dings from it. So let's see if it starts. Put the key here. I haven't driven this for probably, I don't know, 3 weeks or so. Let's give it a shot. That's a good sign. Let's turn all this off. Oh, there it is. Not bad. All right, I'll let it warm up for a couple minutes and be on the way. So I've just finished driving the Mercedes, and I get to drive this car for about the first time in 3 weeks or so. And you know, you might be wondering, what's the big deal with the 9.5? Well, it's kind of hard to explain why I like this car. I don't know. I guess the first SAAB I was ever in and drove was a 9.5, and I always liked the way that they handled and everything. I liked the way the interior was laid out and what it looked like, and always what they were styled like. So the first SAAB that I owned, though, was the 9.3 convertible, which is a nice car, but it's pretty different than this. There's not a lot, well, there is a lot that looks the same, but there's the way that they drive is very different. So anyway, what I like about the 9.5 is that it's just a really comfortable, nice riding vehicle. This Wagon, I mean, it just has a great drive, great ride. Handles nice tight steering. The brakes are good. Acceleration is adequate. This one has the 5-speed manual, which is a lot of fun. It's one of the bigger, nicer, more luxurious cars that you can really find that has a manual transmission. And I know that they're kind of obsolete at this point, but still, it's still fun. This one has a light clutch and nice notchy shifter. So this is a little bit easier and nicer and more fun to drive than the 9.3, which is no slouch, but this is fun. But a lot of the roads around here are terrible, and this handles the bumps and everything pretty well. Nothing in here is too squeaky. Nothing really rattles. Everything's in good shape. I did replace the dash a couple times. Like with all 9.5s, the door handle grabs are kind of peeling. The ones in the back are okay, but the ones in the front here are in tough shape. The liner on the sunroof is peeling back a little bit, so that needs attention. And some of the leather is worn, and at the moment everything needs cleaned. This is pretty dirty in here, and I haven't been driving this car that much. It, after all, sat at the shop for about 6 weeks while I was having some work done on it, while they could kind of fit me in. So it just hasn't been cleaned since for a long time. Now I've cleaned the outside, but the interior I haven't wiped anything down or dusted or vacuumed or anything like that. So it's in kind of tough shape at the moment. But yeah, it's just nice to drive. This is fun, but it starts right up. The heat comes on pretty quick. You have the nice heated seat. The stereo is nice. This is a lot of fun. This reminds me of why I like these cars, just this short drive right here. Now, the other thing too to keep in mind with this vehicle is that, it's a pretty decent car, but it's really decent considering what I paid for it. I think I paid $700 for this car. Now, mind you, it needed a fair bit of work, which I'm still working on. I spent well over $700 getting it up to speed again and all in working order. Oh, I decided not to turn. I guess I left the signal on. Anyway, so it's taken some time and some money to sort out, but it's been fun. I did have a lot of parts that I'd already collected to kind of put onto this vehicle and everything, but I don't know. I'm trying to think what all I went through now. I'll have to make a list sometime, but anyway, the main issue that was wrong with the car when I bought it was it had a check engine light on for the, well, basically it had to do with the thermostat. It said that the engine wasn't reaching operating temperature. So I drained all the coolant out because I don't know, I like to swap all the fluids when I get a vehicle. So I drained the coolant out, replaced the thermostat, and it actually didn't fix it. Turns out I had a bad thermostat out of the box, which kind of threw me for a little while. But anyway, I kind of figured out what was going on and put in another thermostat, and that's been fine since. So that code went away and didn't come back. And then I don't think it needed too much for inspection. These cars have a lot of light bulbs. I know a lot of the bulbs were bad, so I had to replace a bunch of those. And then that kind of got it through inspection. But some of the other issues with it, whenever you get in the car, it would say service theft alarm, and the doors wouldn't unlock off the key fob, and there was no chirp. So I pulled the fender liner out to check the alarm siren module, not the twice module, the alarm siren module, and there was no module there. So that was just gone. Somebody must have taken it. They didn't cut it. The plug was still there, but it was gone. So I did find one at a junkyard and hooked it up, but it still didn't clear the message, and the door still wouldn't unlock. And that was the other main repair. I had to have it have the twice module replaced and reprogrammed. And then also the door lock modules were also bad for both front doors. So that took a long time to all get sorted out. Those are some of the main ones. Other than that, it just needs a lot of TLC. The dashboard got swapped. I'm trying to think what else. I did do a good cleaning on everything and shampooed the carpets and such when I got it. Those are the main things, but there's been a bunch of other fiddly little things that have been done. So I've just looked at my receipts and I've suddenly remembered everything that I've needed to do to this car. This lens right here was bad, so I got one on eBay and replaced that. A lot of the bulbs back here were bad, so those had to be replaced. The SAAB badge needed replaced. Oh, it's locked. Let's see if I can get into this thing somehow. I'll have to go around the other side for the tailgate. Go around here. I needed to put in a couple center caps for the wheels, which are missing. Oh, my shoes. Everybody makes fun of me for wearing these shoes, making fun of me for being, elderly or something like that. Well, here's the thing. I do have a Chevy Impala, so I can legally wear these shoes, but, the joke's on the people that make these comments, because I'll tell you what, you're going to have to wait a long time to figure out how comfortable these shoes really are. But anyway, another thing that, this car has, it has a pretty sizable dent on the door here. The paint's in great shape, but the metal's pressed in, so that needs taken care of. Anyway, go in here and that one. That should be it. Nope. Did I not press it? What's going on here? I don't know. If we hit the unlock button, will that do it? No. I'm missing something here. Let me just get the key. I should have gone in that door to begin with. Let's try this again. There it is. Okay, so you can hear the siren now works. What did this need? I'm trying to think now. So the hood struts, that's right, the tailgate struts, which are up inside here, were bad, so they needed to be replaced. I ordered this cargo cover, which isn't in great shape, needs a bit of cleaning. It did come with this trunk mat here, and the cargo net inside. You can see the subwoofer there, so that needed done. I still need a couple trim pieces like that one there, which was only on the 99 to, I believe, 2002 9.5 wagon, so that's very hard to find. You can see going down the side of the car, there's some dings here, and there's just a weird crease here. This car's filthy, you can't really see it right now, but there's a couple dings and dents really all over it, which that's kind of what I'm having repaired. We'll look here in the back. This car isn't in, like I said, it's dirty, but it's in pretty nice shape overall. These are just beginning to crack back here, so I'll have to take care of that. I think I'll wrap them all in leather or something. But anyway, the fabric's in nice shape. The glass is in nice shape here. I always liked how this was all surrounded by plastic, and there was a number of seals at the door, around all the doors to keep out noise and such. Nice comfortable leather back here. Nice perforated leather to match the front. You have the nice fold down armrest with the cup holder there. These seats do fold up. I guess there's really nothing there. I know below this one there's access for the fuel pump, but not really storage. It's just kind of, they fold up. Oh, they fold, I know why they fold up. They fold up because you can fold that, and then this will fold down if you have the front seats forward. But that's why it is. Anyway. Okay, so we'll put that back. Back here you have pockets. The heated seats function, I don't know if that works or not. You've got the cigarette lighter there, or power outlet. You've got vents here in the center, vents here on the side, vents in the floor below. You have these pouches here, this little cubby here, the window switch there on the door. I've got the grab handles up above. You've got the dome light and then reading lamps to the side. But yeah, in pretty nice shape back here. Up front, much of the same. I did cut that rubber off. That was in tough shape, so it's just better to have it cut than crumbling all over the carpets. Again, in pretty nice shape up here. You know, the bolsters are in good shape on the seats here, but again, everything just needs cleaned. It looks really terrible in the video. It's not in person, I promise. I also had to replace this window switch piece right here, and that was bad. Of course, we did the dash bezel and the shifter bezel, and then this trim piece here, which I still need clips for. That was missing, so I had to find that. That's an interesting story to itself. Plenty of vents up here to the side. This does have Harman Kardon audio, so there's speakers on the door, on the dash. There's speakers in the back here as well, and then the sub in the trunk. And this car does have the sunroof and also the roof rack with the cross rails, which is really rare. You've got the typical SAAB wipers stuck in a position they shouldn't be. One of these side marker lenses, no, that was the 9.3. These were fine. I did replace the badge here. The hood needs painted, so that will be done. This fog lamp was totally smashed, so I had to replace that. I did have this bumper off to do the power steering line fix on these. They seem to rust out at one certain spot, so that's been done. I've also done the ignition cassette, and oh, that's kind of loud. Anyway, the heat pump just came on there. The one was running, now they're both on. I also did the ignition cassette, and like I said, I did the thermostat. The ignition cassette seemed to be acting up, and I did the, what's it now? I also did the crankshaft, what was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying there. Anyway, I did the ignition cassette since it was acting up, and I did the crankshaft position sensor as well, just to be safe. I know that they go out on these, and I didn't want to have it happen. So we'll take a look inside here. Alright, so on the driver's side, you've got the mirror controls up here on the door. Nice chrome handles. These feel really nice and chunky. You have the fuel door release and the hatch release, if it works. I always like, now this one's worn, again, because it's the driver's side, but I always like this nice sill plate here. And then there's controls for the driver's seat down here. You have, and again, this just all needs cleaned. It's not too terribly dirty, but it needs attention. You've got memory there, and then the controls here on the side, and then lumbar here on the back. Same thing on the passenger side. The light controls here, that's the rear fog lamps. This is the front fog lamps. And then cruise control and high beams on this side, turn signals, of course. Audio controls for the there on the steering wheel. here are the wiper controls, and then you have this piece here which is specific to the Wagon, since of course they have the rear wiper, and then that's the sprayer for the back. The OnStar button there. Here, I can go ahead and start this up if I still have the key. I always like overhead switches and buttons. That's always fun. So you have the reading lamp there, which comes on with this switch. That's the sunroof control, which has the vent, and then it will slide the whole way open. And then there's also, let's see if I can find this key here. And then there's also the switch for the lights. Let me put the phone down and find the key a moment here. Oh, here it is. It was in the other pocket. I don't know how that happened. Then you also have the sensor here for the alarm and the temperature sensor. There's also a sun sensor up there, and then that diode is for the alarm system. I'll start this up. You have to put your foot on the clutch, turn the radio off, and turn off the air just so it's not noisy. There we go. Starts right up. We'll put it in neutral there. So that would say fasten belts, and once you buckle up, that goes out. Nothing too fancy here for the mirror. These visors are lit. The lights are kind of dim, which is interesting. And then you have the dual visors. The only other car I've seen that has this is the later E-Class sedans from Mercedes, so that's kind of cool. I thought that was just a SAAB thing, but apparently not. And then you have the handles up here to grab onto, and another little clip there for hanging stuff on. Those right there, that would have been for some type of divider, and then back there, that would have been the pet divider there. So there's a screen that would have rolled down from the ceiling or up from the behind the seats. So pretty simple controls here. The tachometer on the left, speedometer in the center, and then engine temperature there, and fuel. A nice radio here. It has a cassette deck, which is great for you know, one of these Bluetooth adapter things. Nice audio system, which I shall not demonstrate in this video, but you also have, like I said, the cassette deck and CD, and then AM and FM, no XM radio, and then you have the night panel button. With this, I had to redo the SID cable, as I did with the 9.3 as well. So that all shuts off, kills the gauges, which is kind of neat. Completely, well, I don't know, not completely pointless, but I've never used it, but it's there and I like it. But I did replace the SID ribbon in here, as well as all the lights in the SID display, and also, well, we'll get to that in a second, I also replaced some other lights down here for the switches. The climate control was fine. It just had the typical sticky buttons, which I cleaned with rubbing alcohol. There is a light gray paint that was on there that kind of went bad, so underneath it is a dark gray or almost black paint, which I guess doesn't necessarily match the radio, but it's certainly a lot better than being sticky, so that's in good shape. This has automatic climate control, so if we'll bring it on here, you can adjust the fan speed up and down, temperature for both sides. You can set this to come on to certain like preset temperatures, or you know, below certain temperatures it'll bring the defrosters on and such. Then you can change the airflow around here to go to your face or your feet, or if you press both, it'll do both, which is kind of interesting. I'll turn that back off for now. And then below here you have the power outlet or cigarette lighter. This one doesn't have the cover, just the tray, which is kind of interesting. You've got the heated seats here, driver and passengers on the right, and then the ventilated seats here. The ventilated seat option is really rare, I'm told, so that's kind of cool. Then of course the shifter here, and then the lock button down there, and then the e-brake is back here to the side. So I always like this cabin. It's everything's driver oriented, and this entire setup is in really nice shape, nice and clean, not too bad. Let's take a quick look under the hood. Pull the release here. So that's the bulk of the repairs for this. Everything else has just been little stuff that's been fiddly. Well, maybe not. I did put a new battery in it as well, so otherwise everything else has been pretty small. Everything here's been tuned up, new spark plugs. I cleaned all the mass airflow sensor and the throttle body, flushed the power steering fluid, brake fluid. So there's a little bit of corrosion here. This could be definitely detailed, but everything's in pretty good shape. So there you have it. That's a look at the 9.5 Wagon. It's time to get to work on this. Since it's been sitting, I want to give it a good cleaning before it goes in the garage there for work. So I'll give it a quick power wash, and then yeah, then I got to start taking some panels off so we can get access to start pulling some of these dents and keep this restoration project moving along. Thanks for watching.